What a night of football. Arsenal 4, Everton 0, 5 points clear at the top of the lead. For the league leaders, Arsenal, Man United come from behind. 1-0 down, 3 late goals to keep themselves in the hunt of another trophy. Garnacho with the important winner, really. Fred adding the cherry on top of the icing. But maybe the biggest news tonight, Harry Kane, Conte, Son, George, Patrick, Tottenham are out. Tottenham are out of the FA Cup, beaten by Sheffield United, another championship team through to the quarterfinals. An embarrassing night again in the history of Tottenham. A massive night for Arsenal, a huge night for Man United as well. Liverpool winning 2-0. We've got the ultimate match reaction for you, but oh my God, I can't even hold it all in. I cannot even hold it all in how excited I am about tonight's games. Where do we start? Where do we even start tonight? You've got to stay with the terrace. Make sure like buttons are being smashed now. Right now, smash them. Turn on the bell notifications as well, and make sure your notifications are turned on so you know when we go live. No one else is going to give you updates, content, access as we do. So get that done right now. But where do we start tonight? And I'll tell you where I'm going to start. I think we have to start tonight with Arsenal because Premier League, biggest competition in the world. Arsenal tonight, sublime. Arsenal tonight, unstoppable. Arsenal tonight, back to the peak of their proverbial powers. And I told everybody, don't panic after Man City. They came back against Aston Villa. Since then, practically flawless in every single way. Mary Poppins FC. Difficult to break down. Clinical in front of goal. They seized the initiative. They went 5 points clear. I knew they would. You could just see it. You could sense it. You could feel it. They were going to win tonight. But they didn't just win, Arsenal. They won in absolute scintillating fashion. It was out of this world. Out of this world performance tonight from Arsenal. Partey coming back into the fray. Trossard having a brilliant game. We'll come to Bukayo Saka in a minute. Martinelli, I think he picked up 2 goals tonight. He did pick up 2 goals tonight. But Bukayo Saka with the pick of the bunch, in my opinion. The touch, the turn, the strike on his weaker right foot into the top corner. Absolutely sensational from him. And as I told so many Arsenal fans, get behind your team this year because they are the real deal. Man City have all the work to do. 13 games remaining, 39 points available. They have to get now. Man City need to get 6 more points than Arsenal from a possible 39. That is a very difficult thing to do. Still in the FA Cup, Man City. Still in the Champions League, Man City, with pressure, of course, big pressure on them to win all 3 competitions, really, with the money they spend, the squad they've got, and the manager they have. Arsenal will go full steam ahead now. Full steam ahead now to win this Premier League title. They absolutely will. More to come on Arsenal tonight. Man United this evening. Listen, I was very angry at the performance up until about 70 to 75 minutes. From about the 70th minute, we scored a goal. Casemiro was offside, but then the tide turned. That goal, even though it was disallowed, it scared West Ham. They went into themselves. They defended deeper. They allowed us a bit more time on the ball. After, in my opinion, for 70 minutes being the better team, they counter-attacked well. We had a very soft middle today. Truffle FC, Scott McTominay trying to hold with Lindelof and Maguire. As soon as Casemiro and Lissandro were on the pitch, you saw the improvements in Manchester United when our better players were out there. An own goal got us back into the game from a brilliant cross from Bruno Fernandes. And then we just piled on the pressure. And I was worried about extra time. Main reason being I wanted to go live when all the games finished. I didn't want to wait another half an hour. But extra 30 minutes in the legs of these players wouldn't have been good. But there he was. His new name is The Truth. Alejandro Garnacho with another goal in his fledgling career. Been written off by, I've even heard pundits writing him off in recent weeks and in recent months. A sensational performance from him. He was so good tonight. I can't believe Johnson at right back, who played well, by the way, didn't get booked in the game he dragged him down to the ground about 3 or 4 times, didn't even pick up a booking. But there he was. Boom. boom, curler into the side netting, almost a little bit kind of Kiko Makeda-esque with the finish. And that was game, set, and match. And then a few minutes later, a cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. Fred, courtesy of an assist from Wout Weghorst, made it 3-1. Look, the scoreline flatters Man United a bit. It wasn't a 3-1 victory, in my opinion. I mean, statistic, when you look at it, 22 shots to 10, 60% of the ball. But if you watch the game, so many good opportunities, so many brilliant opportunities for West Ham. They didn't capitalize. United were lucky in that regard. However, I don't care. We came back from behind. We came through adversity. United are tracking towards their busiest ever season, and we're still winning games. And in the third match tonight, which, of course, we're going to be, when the panel comes out, we'll be delving into in a lot more detail. Tottenham. Wow. Tottenham. We had George on here on Monday giving it Billy Big Balls. We've got bigger fish to fry than the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. Here we come. This is why Tottenham are a joke club. You know, you've got Arsenal that are soaring around like a falcon. You know, Man United are an eagle. You go to Tottenham, pelican, bruv. A little fat squat bird. A little fat squat bird. And this is why, I'm going to say it again. This is my only message tonight. This is my only message tonight to Tottenham. Please sell Harry Kane. Please free Harry Kane. Please allow Harry Kane to go on and achieve something, win something, achieve something, be something tangible. Your club is the pits. Your club is the pits for world-class players. It's a shambles. Because, listen, Arsenal and Man United and City and Liverpool and Chelsea have all had embarrassing days in the FA Cup. We've all been beaten by teams that we shouldn't have been beaten by. It's once in a blue moon. It's once or twice, if you're lucky, in a decade that we're knocked out by a team that we shouldn't be, that had no business beating us. It happens to Tottenham all the damn time. All the damn time. Harry Kane, get yourself out of Tottenham. You are never, ever, ever, in a month of Sundays, hell will freeze over before Tottenham win a trophy. This man has got to get himself out. Been saying it for 3 or 4 years now. Spurs fans think it's because I hate him, because I don't rate him. No, it's not. It's because I love Harry Kane. I want him to leave. It's almost like if one of my children were in a toxic or abusive relationship. It wouldn't be me not loving them, telling them to break up with their partner. That would be love. I'm telling Harry Kane to get out of this toxic, horrible relationship that's at a dead end, that's going nowhere. Get out, Harry Kane, because you're finished. You're finished at that club. You're never going to win a trophy. You're never going to create real football legacy. Don't be gaslit by Tottenham fans and pundits that say the goals will be enough. They will not. True football legacy is created by the football fraternity at large rating you. Most people consider people like Thierry Henry to be the greatest player, one of the greatest players to ever play in the Premier League, universally accepted by all fans. That isn't just because he scored lots of goals. It's because he won trophies, won titles. There's historic moments that led to trophies from him. Harry Kane, get yourself out, my friend. You have got to go. You've got to go. You've got to get yourself out of there. The place is terrible for you. It's ugly for you. Get out now. But what a night. Obviously, Liverpool winning 2-0 as well this evening. A sensational night. It really has been a sensational night of football. And I can't even lie to you. Hang on a second here. I can't even lie to you. I'm just going to, I need to share the link for this stream in the group chats because I don't know where everyone is. 1 second here. I'm just sharing the link, so stay with me a few seconds. And Man United just got Burnley. Man United have got Burnley in the quarterfinals, by the way. Man United will play Burnley. Sorry, Man United will play Fulham, Man City, Burnley, Brighton versus Grimsby, Sheffield United versus Blackburn Rovers. Quarterfinal draw is done and dusted and out of there. But yeah, listen, there's lots going on. Lots going on tonight. We're going to have Igal and Jess and Dizzy joining us soon. We're just trying to see if we can find a Tottenham fan anywhere. We need some Spurs fans. KJ isn't around tonight to share the link with you. So I'm going to share the link in some of our group chats. If you're part of the Football Terrace legends and super fans, If you're part of the match reaction groups, we're going to share it now. I need to hear from you tonight. I need to hear from Tottenham fans. Tottenham fans got to join us. No bottling it tonight, Tottenham fans. Get yourselves here now. Get yourselves here now. Obviously, we're going to be talking all of the games and all of the matches and their significance, but we want to hear from you. I'm going to have some of your super chats that have come through, though. First one here says, ha ha, Spuds. Glory, glory, Man United. What a spirit. What spirit in this team. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. There's fantastic spirit in this United team. Oh, I love the days when Terry is an Arsenal fan. Listen, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Listen, I was happy for you tonight. Well done. But I honestly, it got to a point when you went 3-0 up, I couldn't even watch that game anymore. This is Arsenal's league to win. The future looks bright for the next decade. Remember, folks, this team is just getting started. Good to see Emil Smith Rowe back. This Arsenal team is just getting started. I don't think you can deny that. It's young. It's hungry. They're going to invest more money. They're going to buy even better players. Legitimately, even better players are going to be on their way. X and chill tonight. Well, I'll definitely be going to that later. This was a battering for Everton. It could have been 6 or 7. We haven't had that level of quality off the bench in years. With Jesus still to come, at least things look good in one part of London. That's very, very true. There's so much more to come. So much more to come. So much more to come. This super chat here from Baz says, Ten Hag time, Terry. Absolutely. Listen, as happy as I know Arsenal fans are tonight, you're not going to see a more chuffed person in your fan base than I am in the Man United one. What a comeback again. The true Man United spirit. Winning games that you might not necessarily deserve to win. And I'm really happy for young Garnacho because the guy's the truth. That's his nickname now, the truth. He is the truth. What a player he's going to be. The air in Spurs tonight's the air in Spurs' trophy cabinet is the most expensive air in the world. True. It's awful. Where is George? He said Tottenham will win the FA Cup. Yeah, I don't know where George is. I don't know where you're at, George, but you got to show your face. They're hiding tonight, Tottenham fans. They've gone into hibernation. And do you know what annoys me about Spurs fans, though, is that every year they big it up and talk like they're going to win a trophy. Like they've got a history of winning trophies. It's so weird. It's like me entering a race with Usain Bolt and actually believing I'm going to win. City United final. Man United can get the cup double. My only annoyance is, Akil, is I wanted City in the quarterfinals at home. I don't want them in a neutral place in the semis or final. They're going to be very hard to beat like that. I wanted them at Old Trafford, but it is what it is. You've got to beat what's put in front of you. There's no doubt about that at all. Nearly 8,000 people watching tonight, so make sure like buttons have been smashed. Get that done. Any Spurs fans in the Orchies and the like, and Jerome's and Danny's, I've shared the link in the live chat for you to come on and speak as well. Liverpool have 10 to 12 points with 10 to 12 points with 4 clean sheets back to back. We still need to improve, but I'm not giving up on top 4. Have to beat United on Sunday. Yeah, Liverpool. If you beat us on Sunday, Tottenham slip up again, you're well back in. You're well back in with it with a shout. Terry, not pelicans, chicken ball. Yeah, but I was talking about like big birds. Do you know what I mean? Because all little birds don't do shit. I'm talking about all the big birds. Do you know what I mean? They're literally like a little squat bird. Nothing. You know what I mean? They're not like a soaring eagle or a falcon or something beautiful. They're not. Terrible. I think Martinelli took it a bit personal when Agbonglahor said he's been rubbish for a month. My man came back and scored 4 goals in 3 matches. One of the things that Arteta had to get right, one of the things he really had to get right was knowing when to drop people. Now, there's a very big difference in football between being a world-class coach and being a football manager, managing the situation. And it was only dropping Martinelli for a game or so, but it gave him that kick up the backside, and he's come back into the team. As you say, 4 goals in the last 3 games, pivotal player. And he's doing it now. He's getting into form at the business end of the season. You know, I was talking earlier about the difference between Foden and Saka. And it's because I've seen Foden deliver in these types of games on multiple seasons to win Premier Leagues. That's the difference between your ability being debated and your achievements being debated. And somebody with great ability and great achievements, that's the elite end of the spectrum. That's why, and that's what creates legacy in football, not just scoring goals and looking good. Only fans of clubs or players who haven't achieved greatness believe ability is all you should judge people on. Only failures in life judge you on your ability. Ability counts for a percentage of what you are. Achievements is what matters most. There are people in my life that I know that are far more talented, intelligent, clever, smart, taller, faster, whatever than me. But if I achieve more than them, I've done better. You know, their ability counts for nothing. Their ability counts for absolutely nothing in relation to that. Anthony Paul, your super chat didn't come up on the screen, but it says tonight was the night we got our swagger back. And I think you're absolutely right, my friend. Daniel here says, where's Patrick, by the way? Yeah, but no Spurs fans have showed their face backstage as of yet. They have not arrived. They've all got the link. They weren't at the game tonight. They were not at the game tonight. They were not at the game tonight, but I have not seen them. Saka showing his levels and Spurs out of the cup. Things you love to see. Yeah, Connor, again, like this Saka is proving everybody that ever doubted him wrong. Now, let's see what he does over the next 13 games. That's when you go from being world-class ability, world-class talent, to being a world-class player. There's a difference. There's a difference. And you only really know it when you've experienced it with your players. And someone said to me earlier, oh, do you think Foden's better than Rashford then? Yeah, he's achieved more. And do you know why I maintain that? Because if I start undoing achievements and letting it all be about ability, people can then come for your legends. People can come for all the Arsenal players that have done invincibles and won 2 or 3 prems, won doubles. If you start taking achievements away, the elites can be undone, and you cannot allow that to happen. It's against, as far as I'm concerned, it's against my religion, which is football. Can we talk about how great Saka is? Martinelli seems to play well with a forward player who drifts towards the left-hand side. Saka doesn't have that luxury. Yet he has 10 goals and 9 assists. We will save that super chat for the panel when they come out. We'll talk about it in more detail, my friend. For 55 minutes, we were mediocre. David De Gea was saving again, but again, the mentality mindset kicked in. Alejandro Timberlake, remember, bigger fish to fry. Thank you there, Josh. I hear you, bro. 19 GA for in 25 for Saka, world class. The outputs are there. And I remember talking on the terrace about Saka last year, saying, listen, he's brilliant ability. Outputs are when it matters. And I know Arsenal fans are seeing the outputs now. They're like, oh my God, it's so much better than when he just looked good. Looking good and delivery, elite. And then you add trophies to that, world class. That's what it comes down to. You're getting it now. You're understanding what real football achievements are about. The older Arsenal generation get it because their legends did it. You got to achieve. You got to achieve. Where's George? You mug. You got bigger things on your mind. You said, sit down, know your place. You're Brighton and them man there is what Ryan's got to say this evening. Arsenal balled out in the second half, made it look like a training session. Yeah, 110%. 110%. They did 110%. United and Man United are back, and we are here to stay, is what Lamar Johnson has got to say. What a time to be a Gooner. Big up, Terry. Come on, you Gooners. Martinelli's form is in line with Eddie out. Yeah, listen, but I think it's something to do with Trossard coming in, and we'll talk about that with the panel. Trossard coming in, drifting out, giving him an opportunity. By the way, I do think Arsenal have a player that drifts out to the right-hand side. His name's Odegaard. Look at his heat maps. He drifts out to that right-hand side. It allows Saka to come inside with and there still be somebody covering that area of the pitch at times. It's important. Hummingbird, Terry, the only bird that can fly backwards. Is how you call in Tottenham, the hummingbird. I like it, but hummingbirds are beautiful and do a wonderful job. I'm just saying pelican because it's like a little squat bird that does nothing, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? But I hear you. It's a good one. Spot on, Terry, with Foden versus Saka debate. I didn't know Foden output was so high, plus trophies won. Saka has work to do and trophies to win. Exactly. And the thing when players are young, it will fluctuate who's at the best point. You can't really judge them until the end. But I have never, because I think it's a reductive way to look at football, is judge football is based solely on ability. Because Jeremy Lynch on ability, you could argue on technical ability, he's up there with he's beyond a lot of Premier League players. But he can't actually deliver, otherwise he wouldn't be making YouTube videos. And I mean that with respect, by the way. Jeremy Lynch is a legend in the YouTube community, but he wasn't a good enough footballer. But his technical ability was out of this world. I mean, I heard a rumor once that Wenger told him he's one of the most technically gifted players they've ever developed at their football club. Ability only gets you so far in life. And if you go through life thinking you're going to achieve off ability only and no hard work and not having to deliver at the end of that, you are going to fail. You are going to fail miserably and be a very sad and a lonely person. Don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for that trick. Trust me. This here says, Garnacho, what a young talent. He is a star. Star in the making, Ronnie. He's a star in the making. He's still got a lot of hard work to do, but he has got one trophy already in his young career, so bless him. Big up. By the way, listen, Wout Weghorst and Sabitzer have been living in the UK for 30 days today. They have more trophies than Harry Kane. Christian Eriksen left England, lived in Italy, died, came back to life, came back to England, switched clubs to Man United, and won a trophy in this country before Harry Kane. Winning trophies matters. Don't let anybody lie to you and tell you different. Jesus better be up for the fight to get back in, is what Guna Dan says. Absolutely. He shouldn't just walk back in. A Tottenham fan here. My club is stinky. Stinky from top to bottom. Absolute shambles. Levy out. Pedetici out is what Deface Age 900 says. Hello, Terry. Hello, Terry. This is William from Uganda. I love you so much for your analysis on point. Arsenal has done it again. Saka is world class. Well, listen, William, thank you for the super chat all the way from Uganda, and appreciate the love. And listen, your boys are out there delivering. And Guna should be immensely proud of their football club tonight. Also, no Terry Spurs fans are doo-doo. There are so many of them in the world. There are trophies in their cabinet. Also, come on, people, get the likes up. Yeah, listen, nearly getting towards 9,000 people watching. Let's get this past 3,500 likes while we're live on the air, please. Get that done. Get that done. Gabriel is fantastic. 27 million in 2020 is a steal. It was a steal. There was a tackle tonight. The game was at 0-0. Mope's in. The way he slid across and stopped that shot from coming off, that's quality. Absolute quality. He's had a few little bozo moments this year, but what I think I've been really impressed with, how he hasn't allowed that to deter him. He hasn't allowed that to put him off. He hasn't fallen away. You know, he hasn't fallen away. He hasn't lost concentration. He hasn't crumbled under the pressure. And I think for me, as just a fan of football in general, that's a real top quality trait. It's a real top quality trait. This here says the star in the previous super chat meant Starboy Terry. Didn't mean to hit you with a confused Ray. Also, Weghorst is a better game player. Better big game player than Harry Kane. Well, he's got an assist in a cup final. Harry Kane doesn't. An assist today to put United through when we were losing. Harry Kane couldn't do that. So listen, I'm going to be shameless and just agree with you tonight. I'm going to agree with you tonight on that. Evening, Terry. Difference between Liverpool and Tottenham is Kane gets injured and don't have anyone to score goals. Few weeks, Liverpool will have 6 forwards. I think Liverpool's front 6 will get us top 4. That's an interesting point, Dinesh. And listen, you've got a chance against Spurs because Spurs are Spurs. And I don't think that can be argued against. I don't think that can be debated against. It is what it is. It really, really is. Spurs equal clowns and poo. I shouldn't laugh at that, but I am going to laugh at that. I'm going to be a big kid and laugh at that because it cheered me up. I've actually been sent something. In a group chat. I'm going to play it. I'm going to bring out my panel to speak to you all tonight. I know they're eager to get out and, you know, big their teams up, big their clubs up, but I've got to find this for you. And I've got to play it. I've got to do it. I can't not do it here, but I want you to get that like button up for us. What we're sitting on now, 1,500 likes while we're live is, by the way, that is actually amazing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it though, because I think so many people have posted in this group chat since I was last in it. I don't know where it's at. Is this it here? No, I've got it. Right, I'm going to download it now. I think it's... I'm going to download it now. It's downloaded. I'm going to upload it here. I'm going to play it for you. Well, just bear with me 2 seconds and just stick with us while I get this done. Remember, I'm a one-man team here doing it all. Trying to do my best. This is George. Someone sent it to me. This is George the other night. Tottenham fan, remember. Take a little listen.
The aim is very clear, to go out there and win the trophy.
The Champions League.
We're still in the FA Cup. We've got the fifth round to play on Wednesday against Sheffield away. Easy draw. It'll be done. We'll be in the quarterfinals next week, and then we can speak.
George, you did it. You absolutely did it. You deep fried yourself live on the terrace, bro. Terry, you're not shameless. You're right. I was 4 when we last won something. I cannot be asked with football. I don't think can take any more else. I'm done with it. Listen, man. Listen, Spurs all season of Spurs fans have attacked me. They've lambasted me. They've wanted my channel shut down. They've wanted me cancelled. Oh, you won't big us up, but you'll big Arsenal up. Yes, because I don't think you're that good. I think Arsenal are. Look at the proof in the pudding. When Man United are bad, my own club, I criticize them. When they're good, I praise them. That's what normal human beings do. It's panel time now, people. Jess is joining us. Dizzy's joining us. Igao is joining us. Brandon's joining us. Tom Little's joining us. We're going to add more calls as well from Lincoln and Safe and others. I'll wait for Igao. I'm just going to bring them out now. Igao's going to turn his camera on soon. Get the likes up. Hit the share button, people. Let's do this. Welcome back to the Football Terrace and the show, everybody. Congratulations, Arsenal. Congratulations, Liverpool. Dizzy, we're through to another round of a cup competition. But I just want everybody to clap their hands and laugh at Tottenham for a minute, please.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to say, okay, on 3, we laugh at Spurs. 1, 2, 3.
You know what, though, Terry? I saw that George clip. That was amazing. But that wasn't even the best part. The best part was when he started talking about Harry Kane. And he said Harry Kane wouldn't want that Carabao Cup because he's winning the FA Cup this year. He wouldn't want a Tin Pot trophy like the Carabao Cup because he's winning the big ones like the FA Cup this year. And he happened to miss what arguably their best chance of the game in the 93rd minute. So you couldn't get more perfect.
It's crazy, and we'll get on to Tottenham. I want to start by talking about top of the table Arsenal tonight. A sensational performance, Jess. You ripped Everton limb from limb. It was revenge at the highest order. 5 points clear at the top. Talk to me about your team's performance and win tonight.
Perfect. Like the win against Leicester for me was a perfect away performance. For me, this is a perfect home performance. I think at the beginning of the game, we weren't really popping it around the way that we should have, but Everton had deployed their usual time-wasting fouls, feigning injury, sitting back in the low block, and we just had to be patient. And in those moments, I feel like we've kind of found our player that's going to lift us out of those difficult moments and score the goals when it matters. And that's Bukayo Saka. He was absolutely sensational. I mean, the goal that he scored for me is on another level. It's under pressure. It's when it's 0-0. It's when it matters. And we spoke about this the other day that I think all of his goals have either been to get us ahead or to draw a match. So none of them have been stat pads or anything like that. They've been important goals. And breaking the deadlock there was important because it shook Everton up. And then Idrissa makes the mistake and we capitalize on it. And then from there, we just get into our groove. You could see the second half, we were just going through the motions and doing our thing. And, Martinelli gets another 2 goals in a period where people are unsure whether or not he's playing well or not. So for me, it's a perfect performance. And I guess the one thing that really stood out to me is really the difference between Jorginho and Thomas Partey. I think there's been a little bit of this weird thing where it's well, is Jorginho a better fit? No. You see that second half, we were gliding around with Thomas Partey in that position. So Jorginho's done well, and he's going to be important for us, but man, Thomas Partey is an excellent player. He could be man of the match, but for me, it has to be Martinelli. But yeah, perfect home performance and 5 points clear, massive win. Because everybody was earmarking this as if you don't get this game in hand, then you're in trouble. And so yeah, I'm so happy with that performance.
I listen. I disagree. Well, I don't disagree. I think Martinelli probably should get man of the match. Partey came on and was an absolute Rolls Royce. Gal, I want to ask you a question before I get your overall view. Trossard's inclusion again, do you think that's having a big impact on why Martinelli has come alive again?
110%. We've seen the situations that we get into when we have those two on the pitch together. You have them interchanging and playing well off each other, similar to how Jesus was playing with Gabriel Martinelli at the beginning of the season. And that's why I feel like we're seeing the best of him over these past couple of games. And him getting that brace was Eddie Nketiah also linked up with that second goal. So we can say Trossard, and I praise Trossard a lot. And you know what? We just got to give the board and everybody credit for getting a player in that actually has made a big difference so far. And I'm happy that Mikel Arteta is actually making some rotations and making those changes. It's been crucial. And you know what? It's seen us through these past couple of games, and we're reaping the benefits.
It certainly has. And I think what you said there about rotation is key, because I think Jorginho deserved his place in your starting lineup tonight. He's been brilliant in the last few games. I didn't think he was terrible in the first half, but you just Arteta obviously said, you know what? Sometimes managers give a player another 15, 20 minutes. And I know, although you were 2-0 up, Arteta said, no, I'm going to bring on Partey now. I'm going to strengthen this team instantly. And you just saw an even bigger improvement. You went to another level. And that's the beauty of this Arsenal team now. Suddenly you've got this bench. With Jesus coming back, you know, you've got this ability to rotate and have quality on the bench, quality to start. You can change matches at half time. You become a different animal since January, Gal.
You know what? I just have to say, what a performance. In a situation where the last couple of days I was just saying we needed the win, today the performance was fantastic. And these kind of performances give everybody in the team confidence. It pushes them up to another level. And we seriously are another level right now with the way that we're performing these last couple of games. We're just gaining confidence, and it's going to reap us well for this good fixture list that we have up and coming. I want to shout out Bukayo Saka and Zinchenko for that opening goal, because they both were crucial in that opening goal. Zinchenko finding the space for Saka. Saka he does this all the time now. Top corner, similar to Arshavin in those tight spaces. This is what he does. Bukayo Saka is absolutely class. We all know that. And I had to shout out a couple more players. We've already said Partey, Gabriel Magalhaes. Always just in the right place, does the dirty work, and he just puts us in a situation where it was 0-0, makes those crucial saves, those crucial blocks, and we move on. And this Arsenal team, defensively, we've been solid. Now we're adding the goals into our game. If we can continue to do this, scary sight for everybody. And you know what, Tottenham? It is what it is. We know you guys.
Do you know what's funny? What makes me laugh about it, Igal, is people have kind of laughed at me all year about saying, how can you be scared of a football team? I look at this Arsenal team play and it's scary. It's because you know, and I want to ask Dizzy this question. When you see this Arsenal team play like they did tonight, and I know you would have been watching the Man United game as well, but they're devastatingly good, aren't they?
Bro, honestly, I was what's it called? KJ added me into the TFT creator chat today, and people were talking about 1-1. They were talking about Arsenal dropping points, and I'm like, I don't know where you're getting this from. Elite teams do not drop points to the same team back-to-back games. That just doesn't happen in one season. So when Everton beat him the first time, I was like, bro, lightning don't strike twice. Especially with the way that this Arsenal team is playing. Yeah, they had a little blip. And obviously, as rival fans, we're kind of hoping that it would be sustained for a little bit longer. But the way that they play, it's not like a flash in the pan type thing. It's completely sustainable. It's beautiful to watch it, and I hate that it's beautiful because I'm a rival, and yeah, I just hate to see it. But you can't knock their game, and you can't knock it at all.
You can't. And it was. Do you know what? I was actually glad that they were like 3-0 up and cruising, because it meant I could really focus on the United game, as I have to call both. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really watch any of the Liverpool game. It was on, but I didn't catch any of it. I saw the disallowed goal only. The other two goals kind of happened, and I looked up, and it was the score had changed. Spurs' match was kind of on in the background, but I was watching Arsenal's up until that third goal, and I just thought to myself, this is why I've believed in them all year. It's why they're my prediction to win the league. And Brandon, you've got 5 points now over City, 13 games to go. Is this your title to throw away?
I think so, Terry. I think so. I've looked at the fixtures. I think our fixtures are a lot better than Manchester City's. I know we've still got to play Liverpool, we've got to play Newcastle and Chelsea towards the back end of the season. But City have got a tough run of fixtures themselves as well. And just the way that we're dealing with teams now, I can't see us losing the league. I genuinely can't. tonight was an absolute demolition job. And I want to shout out one person who, a gal, and Jess has missed out. I looked at the lineups, right, at the beginning of the game, and both teams were not too dissimilar to, the teams that were fielded a couple of weeks ago when we played Everton. The only real change was, Trossard up front for Nketiah. And that's brave by Arteta, let's be honest, because of the way that Everton dealt with us in the first game, the way they shut us out. It's brave from Arteta to go with the same lineup, knowing that, it could potentially happen again and not change things up like, most fans were calling for in that first game. And clearly the players got the message as well, because in that first game against Everton, we didn't move the ball quick enough. We wasn't really 100% at it. Whereas today, it was just like, we ain't getting done by these lot again. And, as Jess said, Bukayo Saka, world class, steps up at the right moments. I think for the first 30 minutes, we played all right, but we just was kind of overdoing it in the final third. Bukayo Saka gets the ball, one touch out of his feet, bang, roof of the net, job done. And then all of a sudden, when you go 1-0 up against the team that wants to be hard to break down and be tough to kind of get by in Everton and Sean Dyche, it then becomes an easier game anyway. So, going 2-0 up, I thought, like Jess said, it was deserved. But in that second half, we was flawless, absolutely flawless. And if we can play like that, 9 times out of 10, I don't see how Arsenal lose this league. I really don't.
I mean, I think we've got to praise you, Brendan, because since they saw you call them pussies, they've upped their game. Do you know what I mean? They've responded to that. Responded to that. I'm just saying, they were like, oh, you know what? He's got a point. We've got to be tougher. And they move forward from there. But listen, someone said this is AFTV 2.0. Now, it's a football terrace, and we're covering all the games tonight. I've spoke for 26 minutes, spoke about Tottenham, spoke about United. We probably won't touch too much on Liverpool this evening, to be honest, a little bit, but not too much. But they were great. There was some super chats I want to go through here. Someone says, imagine people said Spurs' transfer window over Arsenal's. Yeah, hilarious. You kind of look back at that now, like Spurs winning the transfer window it's just an amazing call.
It was literally only because they'd done them all that quick.
Yeah, it sort of started well for them, but ended badly. And I say this to all, especially you young men out there, when it comes to entertaining ladies, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, bruv. It's how you finish that makes all the difference to the smile upon their face or walking quickly out the room to have a shower. Arsenal must be praised for responding. That's from Baz1, who's a United fan. I think you're absolutely right that they need to be. What's all of your, or just Terry, if no one else is there, first foot? We'll come back to that later. That's going to take forever. We'll come back to that. Where's Spurs' Alex and Chelsea's Gem these days? Yeah, they've disappeared. They're in the shadows. They're in the you know what I mean? They've in that prison in the Dark Knight Rises. They're in the bottom of that prison. Do you know what I mean? All Arsenal needed was a bit of depth. # come on, you Gooners. This is if Arsenal fail to win from this point, Arteta out. Listen, I spoke to it like there's no. Again, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I can't say this. But for me, listen, if they lost 10 of their last 13 games, maybe. But from this point, I don't think you're going to convince anybody to be Arteta out, who isn't already, in my opinion. The toughness of the Arsenal team is something I haven't seen before. Even Jorginho celebrating with Gabby and Martinelli speaks volumes. Much love is what Adam says here. Arsenal is the real deal this season. I think even people that don't want to agree. Especially Adrian, they have to. Am I crazy in saying that because Arsenal Stadium is bigger than Everton's, they weren't able to press Arsenal like at Goodison Park?
Yes. No. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think it's part of it. The dimensions are slightly bigger, but again, being away from home, and again, it was new. That game was. I said it the other day, was the perfect storm. It was new manager bounce coupled with Arsenal being away, and Arsenal just hit a wobble, and it was the first game in that wobble, and everybody over-indexed it. Because when Everton played next against Liverpool, everyone expected Everton to do the same thing, and they got slapped up. It's Everton. I'm not taking nothing away from Arsenal tonight. but Everton are shit.
They're
Everton,
not a very good side, you guys. Like, they're literally in the relegation zone for a certain reason. Like, it really was the new manager bounce, and we weren't up to it. And it's not about stadium size or anything. They came to the best team in the country so far this season, and they got whooped like they should. Like, it don't have nothing to do with the stadium size.
no, absolutely. And Carl B points this out. Sean Dykes will train on pitches the size of the opponents. And yeah, exactly. They'll know what they're doing. These guys aren't idiots. It's just being away from home. Christopher here says 700 plus passes. Wow, come on, you gooners.
Yeah.
That shows revenge on point. This here says, think we need 9 more wins. 86 points plus should be okay. I mean, if you get, as it stands right now, City need 2 more wins than you. So obviously you've got to be aiming for 13 wins, but every game now, you get into that countdown period of the title now where every win, it's just you need 1 less. And that's how you've got to look at it now, 1 win at a time. And I still think City, I still think City will drop more points than Arsenal between now and the end of the season.
Absolutely.
I really do.
I think it'll all come down to the game at the Etihad. I think if we can at least get a point out of that, I think we win the league.
To be honest, I think that game will be irrelevant when it's all said and done. I think Arsenal have enough games in this little run where they can win them all, and by the time you get to the City game, it don't really matter too much. They might close the gap to maybe 6 or so, but I don't think it'll matter.
You know what?
City also have other competitions as well, and I think it will get to the point where Pep, he's not stupid. He might just go, I've done all I can. I need to focus on something else.
Mm.
I think it honestly, call it cliche, but it just comes down to who has the hunger for it. And I look at this Arsenal team and I feel like we are currently the team that's looking like we're hungry for it, and we're battling every single game, going out there trying to push. And I don't see that from City.
I agree with you, Agal. I think you're spot on. There's something slightly missing from this team. Big Steve said it earlier on our Straight Facts show that he feels like that City have got the bit between their teeth again. And that should be music to Arsenal fans' ears. There's no excuses from City fans. They think they're going to catch you. They think they're going to beat you. They're making no excuses. So if you knock them off their perch, don't let them twist it round at the end and say, actually, we knew Arsenal were going to do this.
I honestly don't care. Let them say whatever they want. The trophy's not won in March. They keep telling us it's not won in October, November, December. We're still top of the league. So you guys come chase us. We're not going to chase you.
Well, one thing I would say can happen in February and March, because Spurs know, is your season can be over.
I
know
they're
this
still in the Champions League.
Yeah, but I don't even mean to.
Harry, can I just say this? Back to life, back to reality. I told you guys it's unsustainable. Let's get it.
God.
Yo, I told you guys from the beginning, you guys aren't going to do nothing this season. Every single year. Terry, you can replay the same tape on the terrace every single year because Tottenham, this is what they do. This is what they do. Is anybody on the panel surprised? Is anybody in the chat surprised? Are Tottenham fans surprised? Are your owners surprised? Come outside, Tottenham fans! Where are you? Come outside! They're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they're done. They're dead out here. And the thing is, like, I don't even dislike Tottenham. I don't. They're not really a rival to me. I just got offended this year when they told me as a United fan that I don't talk to them about trophies. It got to me. It's like me telling Bill Gates, don't chat to me about computer software, bro. What do you know? That's how I took it. Do you know what I mean? I just looked at it like me telling Elon Musk how to create an electric car. It don't make sense. Like there's certain people that you don't challenge in certain professions. Do you know what I mean? Like none of us on this panel can give Gordon Ramsay any cookery advice. Equally, Spurs fans don't get to talk to Manchester United about trophies ever. Not one day, not 1 second, not one moment. You keep your mouth firmly shut when it comes to trophies in my football club. Forever. You don't get to chat. You spent £1.7 billion in the Premier League era for 2 trophies. Shush. Get the hell out of here. That's why none of them are showing up tonight, because they knew what was coming. They were going to be getting cooked.
I wanted Patrick. I'm not going to lie. He started. You know what's crazy? I have no smoke with Tottenham. I really don't even think about Tottenham on a day-to-day. I don't care about Tottenham at all. But Patrick started this smoke, and I need it from him. I don't know what show you can arrange this for, Terry, but me and Patrick, I need this smoke because he talks far, far, far too much. And it's crazy that coming from a Tottenham fan. I'm not going to lie to you. Crazy.
It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. I want to do some more of these super chats. Obviously, we're going to change the subjects up a bit as well. This here says, I still want to know who Brendan was calling pussies. Hold that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did. He called your players it. That's what he said.
We're still talking about a comment I made 3 weeks ago, yeah?
No,
Just saying.
no better feeling than slapping Deitch with four goal difference. Spurs are the dodo, extinct, fossilized football. I like that. I like that, Andy Moore. That's a good one. This says 700 plus passes. Wow, come on, you gooners. That's show. Sorry, I've already done that one there. Already done that one. This here says Trossard is a lovely pickup in January. He drifts left, unlike Nketiah, who I still rate, but it helps having someone with a more mischievous profile. So what's the word I'm looking for? Variety. Variety is the spice of life, I was once told, and I think that matters when it comes to your teams. You've seen Man United do that a lot regularly, where they ain't quite working up front and will move very course into a 10 and Rashford goes up top and things get muddled around and then suddenly bang, we're opening a team up. Having additional players slightly different from each other gives you more options. Just a bigger, excuse the pun, having more in your arsenal helps.
Can I just say one thing, Terry?
Go on, mate. Go on, bro.
I just want to call for Arsenal fans, just enjoy some of these wins. Like, I get we can be overly critical when we lose, when we draw, but when we're having fantastic performances like this, let's not look at the negatives all the time. Let's try to be positive. Let's try to be happy. Let's try to enjoy these games, because this journey that we're currently on, this season that we're on, I still see a lot of people questioning what we're doing and everything. Fair to question it, fair to be critical, but when we win games like today, genuinely try to enjoy it. And I'm not saying to anyone in the panel, but I just see some people still trying to draw on the negatives and trying to draw on CT's going to catch us this and that. Let's just take these wins and let's try to enjoy the ride. Because at the end of the season, if the whole time you're miserable and then we win the league, you're going to be happy, right? So it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Guna Dan here, 19 GA in the Premier League in 25 games for Saka, world class. How good is your boy, Jess? How good is your boy, and how impressed are you with him?
I'm just over the moon with Saka. That's why I feel like every day I'm ready to fight online for this boy, because every time I see somebody start talking about Saka, I'm like, keep my winger's name out of your mouth, okay? Like, because the thing about Saka is, like, I think it's taken a while for people to actually respect him as a winger. For a long time, it was, well, maybe he should be playing left back. I don't know. Does he have enough goals? Does he have enough this? Does he have enough that? He's showing up every single game, and I think he really is. You always need a player in your team that's willing to, like, kind of put the team on their back a little bit. And you're not always going to have, like, the equal share all the time. And I think through this difficult period, even when Saka's level dropped just a little bit, or he was having a difficult time, the goals still came. And so I think he's fantastic. You know, we're getting him on a new deal. We don't have to worry about anybody coming for him anytime soon. He's 21 years old. He's phenomenal. So I'm over the moon with him, to be honest. And yeah, well done to him. I just want people to start putting respect on his name, because I still feel like there's a little bit of like, but he's not as good as so-and-so. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, even if Foden is amazing, who cares? Saka is fantastic. Like, just because he may not be at the same level as Foden, you know, in terms of trophies and stuff like that, just enjoy Saka for what he is. Like, it's wild to me.
This tax weighs heavy. This tax weighs heavy on our players. You know it. The Arsenal tax weighs heavy. People are not going to rate your players. It doesn't matter what they do. We see it with Rashford. Like, let's just leave it at that. Like, honestly, you guys continue to hate. He's going to keep reaching his goals, and he's just getting started. He's 21 years old. 21. Don't forget that.
Yeah, look, he had another great game tonight, and I think there's a different, like, on ability, he's up there with everyone who's 21. He's as good as anyone who's 21 years old and younger in the world. I think in his position and as a forward, he's one of the most talented in the world. Of course, there is overall quality and achievements. He hasn't got the achievements yet as certain other players, but he's not pushing 30 like Harry Kane with no trophies, and we're arguing about where that leaves him in terms of his legacy. He's 21. He's already got an FA Cup. He's likely to pick up another trophy this year, maybe, you know, very likely to be that Premier League. He's a top-class player, and I think the irony in it is this. Let's just say Foden is better. Everyone's got a different way of assessing players, but even if Foden is better, why do Arsenal fans care when Saka's this good? It doesn't actually matter, because You can't have all the best players. You guys had Thierry Henry and Bergkamp in your pomp in the Premier League era, and I knew they were good. But I was happy with what we had. It was almost like it didn't matter to me. Do you get what I mean? What mattered more is that we won more trophies and stuff like that. And for me, it's kind of like people care too much about their player being seen as the best. It should just be about, well, how good do you think he is and how happy are you with him? And if you're truly happy with Saka, it shouldn't offend you. It shouldn't offend you if unless someone's being nasty about him. If someone goes, I think he's amazing, but I just think X is better, that shouldn't matter to any one individual, you know?
Well, here's the thing. It's like, that's not exactly what I was saying. Like, I know that it's like, okay, well, why do you care? It's not that. It's when Saka is doing well, I do think it's odd that when I look under the comments of anything that Saka does, then it's like, but so-and-so is this and that. He's so-and-so is clear. And I'm just like, they don't even say that Saka's great. You know, I still feel like there's a reluctancy to even say that he's as talented as he is because people really doubled down on the fact that he wasn't even a winger. So
I think that's it, Jess. They don't want to admit it. You can. There's a side to appreciating greatness when you're watching it, and the people that don't are doing it because they simply can't accept it. What you're watching from Bukayo Saka at 21 is fantastic. The ability to put a team that could go on to win a title on his back at this age and be the talisman, absolutely amazing. And he's been so important for so many games. People just don't want to admit it. People don't want to admit greatness. How many fantastic players in the Premier League we had in the past where people just don't want to give them the flowers until it's too late, and then you don't have them anymore?
Some people still don't. Like Paul Scholes still gets disrespected every day now. He's been retired a decade. Legitimately, he still gets and that's it. And I agree with you, Jess, 100%. I wasn't talking about you. I said I get Arsenal fans going for people that disrespect Saka in a ridiculous way. But if I see a post that's about how good Saka is, the last thing on my mind is to go, yeah, but Reth was better. I don't understand that response. Because that isn't the debate right there. It's like if you're going to challenge what someone says about Saka, debunk. I say this about politics. Stop arguing about who the nicer person is. Challenge their policies. Same in football. If a gal sits here and says Saka's the best right winger in the world and names 5 reasons, to challenge it, you've got to debunk those reasons. Not say things like, oh, does Rashford play golf? That's not a response. That's not an argument. That's just weird. Don't tweet. Keep your mouth shut. You're embarrassing your dad. It's as simple as that to me. It really is. A few people asking the Spurs getting cooked. Stay on the show. They will be getting cooked. Speaking of the youngsters tonight, obviously we can't go dizzy. Garnacho tonight. Man United tonight. Another comeback. 3-1 maybe flatters us a little bit, but Garnacho coming up trumps again for Man United.
You know where we are at the moment, and I imagine this must be how Arsenal feel to some degree. I wasn't worried at any point in the game, bro. I was like scrolling through TikTok, casually looking up. Oh, we're 1-0 down. Oh, okay, fair enough. But I have this feeling that it's like no matter who we're playing, no matter if we're home and away, I feel like we have a goal in us at some point. And then once the game is level, you can't rule this United team out. And that's the beautiful thing that Ten Hag's done, bro. On Garnacho, man, I'm not gonna lie, I love this kid, man. He's an absolute. He seems unhinged to me, and I seem to be drawn to unhinged players like a Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro. Those are my kind of guys. The guys that will do something crazy and then do something crazier straight after that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's cold, man. The kid's only 19. I think he's got maybe 7 or 8 goals and assists after playing maybe 700 minutes or so. The kid's cold, man. The kid's cold, and I think he had the sky's the limit for him.
I couldn't agree with you more. I thought he had a really good game tonight. Johnson should have been booked really early on in the game for fouls on him. He pulled him down for a much more deliberate penalty than what Bruno conceded a week ago, which was crazy to me. Ben White pulled less on the keeper's arm and Ward's arm at the weekend than he got pulled down today. Should have been booked. He was great. And the finish was something. We saw Saka score a great goal tonight. Garnacho's were different, but rooted the goalkeeper, buried it. And for me, listen, every club has something about its club which is special to it, and their fans feel it more than anybody else. But last minute winners, Garnacho, he's got 2 now this season. In his debut year, he's got 2 of them. and it's something ingrained in the tapestry of Manchester United. And to see him do that was just out of this world for me. But there was a lesson for Man United tonight, I felt, which is, I know we have to rotate, but starting with a centre of McTominay, Lindelof, and Maguire is a no-no, because that shit is polo. There's no middle. It's soft. We're just getting run through on the counter because there was nothing there. As soon as Casemiro and Martinez were on, that was it. They had one more counter attack after that where they probably should have scored. Aside from that, we controlled the game. And do you feel like that's got to be a lesson for Ten Hag to just find a way of not playing those three in the center together?
To be honest, I think this is something he already knew anyway. I think today was a bit of a roll of the dice of, okay, I don't really trust you, but go out I ran these players into the ground last week. The game against Leicester, although it wasn't really intense, it was a hard game. The game against Barca was incredibly intense, and then the emotional roller coaster of the Newcastle game. Although it seemed controlled, we was out of possession for a lot of it. So I think he kind of had to rest a lot of the players anyway. I think he knows that Maguire is not that guy. To be honest, I would be surprised if we see Maguire on the other end of the summer transfer window. Lindelof, he could be a good squad player, but I don't see him staying longer than 2 years. And McTominay, again, I don't see him here past the summer. So I think he knows that these guys are kind of washed. And the gap between quality between McTominay and Casemiro is like maybe the biggest gap that's there in the Prem, honestly, between two players in the same position.
I'm going to head off, Terry, but I'm just going to say this. If you guys win the FA Cup and the League Cup, you guys do the same thing as Quad Liverpool last year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. But equally, I was going to say that's
I just backed your star boy. Why am I getting the shade? Go with Tottenham.
Hey, listen. Fair play. You're here. You guys can get top 4. Make sure you get it. Then Tottenham are really in the mud.
Fair.
Yeah. Listen, it's a cheers, Gal. I'll speak to you soon, bro. Listen, I think that United tonight, it's one of those. Do you know what's really frustrating about the whole night is they've got to stop doing this, the Premier League. Why Arsenal was on the same time as Man United and Tottenham in the FA Cup is ridiculous, because it isn't fair on either tournament, because I cover content, so I've got to have multiple games on. But why do that to us? They've got to stop postponing. 2 seasons running, they've postponed games for stupid reasons. And we've ended up having they did it with the Arsenal City game. It was on a Champions League night. They've got to stop doing that. But yeah, I was impressed with us in that second half, but I think it shows for us. We know what players we've got to sell in the summer. We know what players it works with. We know what players it kind of falls apart with and stuff like that. And we just need to improve on that squad, which is the reason why, by the way, I don't think we're in a title race. What are we now?
Absolutely.
11 points behind Arsenal or whatever it is. It's why I said all along, like, as much as they were trying, especially Jessica up there, yawning conveniently at the right time, trying to act like she didn't do this, but, trying to goad me into saying we're in the title race. I didn't believe it. And
I was going with what some of y'all were saying. That's all.
As I told you before, Jess, like there's some weird Arsenal fans out there, but my fan base has some proper Zooms as well. I call them Zooms because you hear them talking, you go, what? You zoom in to check what they're actually saying. It's so mad. They're proper Zooms, bruv. And listen, that's why I didn't do it. But I'm proud of the boys tonight. Excellent comeback again. We've done it so many times this year. And I'm a bit like you. I didn't think we were going to lose. I didn't think, not at home anyway, like maybe away against a big team. But at home, I just feel like there's something in this team. We had no Sancho, no Luke Shaw either. So there's still more to come back, Eriksen's still out injured as an example. So
Martial. We don't even have a striker for him.
Exactly. And I think, the fact we've still got holes in this squad, we're in this quarterfinal. It's Fulham, which is tough. We've got the toughest draw again that we could outside of City. But, I think we'll beat them at home. And then it's on to, hopefully onto that semi-final. And once you're there, who knows what can happen? There's an opportunity of, all sorts. I would have liked Grimsby at home or someone really easy if we're not going to get. I actually wanted City because we've got a better chance at home against them than we do neutral, and I'd rather knock them out now or play them now than in a semi-final. But having said that, listen, we've beaten them this year once. We can do it again. So yeah, it kind of is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Bro, I wanted Grimsby. Bro. I don't know
I
what
get
you're
why you
talking
wanted Grimsby.
I'm like you. I want the easiest draws possible. I don't care what's going on. I want all your players injured. I don't give a damn. I want it to be easy.
No, I get you, but I kind of think about it strategically. And City, like, if like in the FA Cup and League Cup, I always say this: I don't care who we get as long as we're at home. And actually, sometimes getting the big teams early on helps, because if you get like getting knocked out by City in a semi-final or losing in a final hurts a lot more than a quarter-final. So I kind of like it earlier, and I kind of like it to get easier as we go along. That's sort of my mantra. Maybe like the Europa League, but we may have played our hardest game in the Europa League already, because there's, barring Arsenal, there's no one left in it, in my opinion, as good as Barcelona. So theoretically, we've won it. No, I'm joking, but you know what I mean. We'll see
There is something to be said. You know, when people say, like, if you're not going to win a particular tournament, maybe it's better to get knocked out in the first round. And you know, there's logic to that. Obviously, you can enjoy the ride. You know, we enjoyed the ride in the Champions League last season. You know, it didn't go our way ultimately, but there were still good moments. Look at Tom.
How's that been mentioned twice so far this stream?
That final for Liverpool, that's probably the last time you guys felt good before kickoff. Do you know what I mean? Well, unless you were waiting to get in the stadium.
Fulham.
Oh, Fulham, yeah, you felt good against
Bournemouth.
You felt good against Bournemouth this year. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game between Liverpool and Man United now on Sunday, because United win again. Your win just gives you that impetus of, you know, you've given yourself an opportunity with 2 back-to-back wins in the Premier League now, where you kind of, did you win at the weekend?
No, it's 3 and 4, but it's like 4
clean
sheets in a row.
We put you on 39 points. You win this weekend against Man United, and you go on to 42 points, which theoretically, depending on their result, and they play Man City, could put you into 5th above Newcastle. Equally for Man United now, like suddenly we've got games in hand over people, which is crazy, because we were ahead of everybody for a while. So yeah, that game is massive now on Sunday between Man United and Liverpool.
Huge.
It also means they've beat the 40-point threshold as well, so they won't be getting relegated, Terry.
This is true. This is true.
It's just Chelsea left. Just got to look out for Chelsea's 40 points now.
There's loads of big games.
You know what?
You go on, bro.
Yeah, it's Liverpool Man United. It's always the biggest game of the season. So it's just obviously in a situation where we have fallen off to a catastrophic degree. We don't necessarily have the same amount riding on it, but this is, you know, it's one of those games for us. It's probably bigger than United, because if we lose, then it's going to be a long, hard road back. I think.
I don't want you doing a double.
It's almost, yeah, that too. And even, you know, we've still got a possibility, but we're just, even though we won today, like the first half wasn't good. We didn't look great. There were moments in the second half, and towards the end of the second half, we started looking better. But I mean, we're just so far off where we want to be.
We don't make sense as a team at times. That's our issue. We don't make sense. Like, this is a team that has got all its success in the past 6-7 years under Klopp off pace, effectively pace and power and quick attacks. And yet we spent the first 60 minutes trying to be Man City 2.0. But it was just the most mind-numbing thing, because our players can't pass the ball at times. I was watching Fabinho under hit passes, Elliott under hit passes, Trent under hit passes, and you're just sitting there going,
I am
what
on the
has happened to Fabinho, man? What has happened to him?
He's actually 65.
I've literally never.
He is just
He lied.
Honestly,
his passport must be fake.
He's
one of them people.
I think Fred has changed passports. You know, the whole thing was Fred was the fake Brazilian and he had the fake passport. Maybe it's been a secret all, and Fred's was just, you know, it was waiting, it was stuck in customs. It's come through now. Whereas Fabinho's, he's been caught out. They've caught him out on a European trip because he's just not right.
Yeah,
there was someone putting out a table or something. I think it was the week or last week or the week before that he's played the equivalent of the average 34-year-old. Even though he's 29, so I don't know. Sometimes
you got to remember two other players spring to mind: Wayne Rooney and Cesc Fabregas. 29 to 30. That's when their drop started. But both of them were playing from the age of 15, 16, and I think that for some footballers, they have a 15, 16-year validity period. If you start at 16, 17, like late 20s is when you can start to go, and maybe that's what's happened to Fabinho. As you say, he's just played that many minutes run that many races that he's going. But what I will say is this, and we'll talk about it more on the top 6 show tomorrow, but there's no way you guys are going to be bad, not up for it, not running against Manchester United.
This is our biggest game of the season now. This is it for us.
You guys in my life, when you've been awful. I remember watching you. I remember seeing you start seasons where you were like near relegation zones after like 5-6 bad games at the start of the season. We'd turn up at Anfield and you were better than Barcelona. And it was so I'm under no illusions. The only good thing is today, like Casemiro only played half a game, same as Rashford only played 20 minutes. Lissandro didn't play much. Varane rested. Luke Shaw's rested. At least we got to rest. That's why I wish if we went 3-0 up early, it would have been even better. But we did get to rest a handful. Sancho was completely rested. So hopefully we have some fresh players out there that didn't have to do too much running. And that's why that Garnacho goal, stopping that extra 30 minutes of extra time, maybe even penalties, I think was crucial for us.
Was it extra time or was it a replay?
No, it's extra time from the 5th round onwards. So yeah, tonight would have been it would have been extra time and penalties tonight. So there's no in the FA Cup now after the 5th round, there's no more 5th round beyond. There's no replays. It's just straight results. So yeah, but it's gonna be an interesting one. And viewers, we will get into that more on the top 6 show tomorrow. That stream link's already ready. So if you go to the Football Terrace homepage, make sure you get it done 6 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be reviewing tonight again. We will have Patrick on that show tomorrow. He's down, so we'll be cooking Spurs. They're getting, honestly, it's going to be a barbecue. It's going to be a barbecue tomorrow night. Man are getting fried out here. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy one. This weekend's going to be, there's some good football this weekend. And yeah, there's loads of football over the first sort of 2.5 weeks of March. And then it's international break. I'm so annoyed. I'm actually annoyed. Like I'm just enjoying this ride. But maybe it's good to have a little break, build up some expectation, excitement again. But there we go.
I think the players need it more than anything, bro. They're playing crazy amount
I
of
want
games.
our international players to do a Gerrard, to do a Giggs.
Facts.
Pretend they're injured, not go on international duty and rest for 2 weeks. I'm so desperate for him to do it. This here says FYI today, Arsenal beat Everton for the 100th time. And it's true. Mateus also put it in. First football team ever in England to beat another team 100 times.
I love that 100th is right on top of Sean Dyche's head top because I can't stand that guy sometimes. The way he rolls up there with those stinky blocks, man. I'm like, thank you.
Honestly, I'm so thankful for today because there was a little bit of hope in Everton fans. There was a little bit of hope going around that, we might have turned the corner around. This will send them straight back down to earth, straight back down to the Championship where they need to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a beat down as well. That's what's crazy. It was such a beat down. We're back where we belong. If you know, you know. Back. I get what you mean. Like out, but back. I get you, bro. We get you. Tom, we're coming for you on Sunday. You're next. Glory, Man United is what Joshua Jackson.
I should expect that from Quad Hunters Manchester United against.
Don't do that.
Quad Hunters. This year says tonight's show the quality squad depth we have now is what Clive Morton says. I think talking about Arsenal there. I think we all agree with that. Have I missed the segment where Spurs getting cooked? I mean, there's been a number of segments where we spoke about them, but it's like I'm kind of like holding it in for tomorrow, viewers, when we actually have a Spurs fan on here to question because they all, even young Daniel, Orchie, all of them, maybe because we didn't have Liverpool Spurs in the title tonight because we bloody couldn't. There wasn't enough spaces. Maybe they're not here for it, but yeah, I don't know where they're at tonight. Spurs fans did not show. They've almost got away with it a little bit. With Arsenal winning so well, United's come back, Liverpool winning. I think Spurs are kind of hoping that it kind of fades off into the background a little bit. That's also why they've got to spread the games more because you could have had a team playing the FA Cup tomorrow and then play a Premier League game on Sunday. Like that's just like a normal Europa League week. Like the way they've crammed it together, I don't think it's fair on football viewers, man. They should give us a lot more time. This says, any respect for Fabio Vieira?
Let me get in on this. You guys know that is the one player that I'm going to go down. Like if he crashes and burns, I'm going down. Not
what?
No.
I was like,
okay, I'm done.
On the internet.
Terry tweeted. You see his eyebrows.
I'm done.
Sorry, go on, carry on, Jay.
No, I have to go anyway, but I love Fabio Vieira. I think he's going to be a great player. But I have to go, you guys. But
take care. Yeah, look, I sort of listen. Fabio Vieira is good. He just needs a bit more time in the team. Do you know what I mean? He just needs a little bit more time in the team, to sort of do his thing. But it's hard when he's had like Odegaard in that position do so well all year. Who's a lot of people are kind of watching, tipping him. Sorry, to kind of be Player of the Year. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one with him there indeed. We have a super chat here that says, it's come through on one screen, not on the other. It says, haven't Arsenal spent less than Spurs and won 15 trophies since the Premier League started? What colour is North London? In fact, I think it's more than, you must have won more than 15 trophies, Arsenal. Maybe it's only 15, but yeah, you definitely spent less. You spent about £100 million less. Jerome says, I'm here, win or lose. I know you are, brother. You're a brave Spurs fan. But I want to say a big thank you to all of our panel tonight, all of our viewers tonight, all our super chatters and our members. Thank you very, very much indeed. Really do appreciate it here. We're back tomorrow with Fan Channel Review in the morning. Of course, it's probably going to be an epic one. And the Top 6 show tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Make sure you are all tuning in. This link will take you straight through to it. So go and bookmark it and set it ready for tomorrow night. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.